Hi, I'm Claire Nemes. I'm a second-year PhD student at the UMC's Appalachian Lab in Frostburg. I'm really interested in understanding the impact of free-roaming domestic cats on bird populations. I did basically set up arrays of camera traps at 16 different locations along this gradient of urbanization. And ultimately, I would like to be able to see whether, how much cat density is potentially differ along this gradient of urbanization. So in order to take photographs of and ultimately estimate numbers of cats, we use these trail cams. This one is in a little security box to keep it from being tampered with, but you can see it's pretty small. And this takes pictures both during the day and at night. You can program it with different settings, but basically you set these up at about ankle level. An animal walks past, or a human or a car drives past, or whatever it is, it will trigger the camera and it will record the data for you. We also did point count surveys for birds in all of these regions as well, and so that allowed us to determine what species of birds were present in these areas, and hopefully we'll ultimately be able to determine abundance as well. I was always, like as a kid, really into nature, really knew that I wanted to study animals, but I didn't really get into birds until maybe about 10 or so years ago, and just couldn't believe when I started learning about the diversity of birds that we were able to see just here in Maryland. And then there's 10,000 or so species in the world, and they do this fantastic thing which is fly, and a bunch of them migrate, and that's just the coolest phenomenon. So I was really lucky enough when I first started getting into birds to work at a nature center, and had some really fantastic mentors who encouraged me to learn more about birds, and that kind of led me to realize that what I really wanted to do was research and to study birds and to try and answer some of these questions about how to conserve them, because humans are obviously altering the planet. We're, through climate change, through habitat loss, we're making things a lot tougher for a lot of bird species. And the topic of free-roaming cats it's a tricky challenge, but it's one where individual behavior can make a big difference.